Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Historical Humans Reacts. And on today's episode, we're talking about a excavation at a French hotel that reveals a medieval castle with moat, coins, and jewelry. So whoever was excavating this literally hit a jackpot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Truly
It
astonishing
is
find.
the castle. Yeah. The castle itself is about 600 years old. Um, and the moat and other artifacts were uncovered when archaeologists began a preventative dig. Turns out we actually knew there was a castle structure here. We just didn't expect it to be this well preserved. Uh,
Oh,
as a part of the due diligence uh, for was it the hotel and the city of was this Vans?
looks like it.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, they were looking to expand the hotel and build a fine arts museum. And wouldn't you
Oh,
know it, someone put a castle right where this museum needs to go.
they're always
Darn.
placed in the most inconvenience of places, like
Yeah.
where
Well,
you wanted to build an art museum or where you're trying to
Yeah.
invade
th-
a
Or
this
burying
country.
people where you're trying to put a parking lot. I mean, come on.
this really does. A couple of things should be highlighted here, though. One, a lot of countries have what are called contract archaeologists or cultural resource management, who go in ahead of construction projects to make sure nothing gets destroyed for obvious reasons like this.
Mhm.
While extremely rare, having a castle underneath your hotel is definitely a historic concern of sorts. And the interesting thing here is we don't exactly know quite yet what they're going to do with the plans, but there's a lot of really cool preservation in place, is what they refer to it as, where they could potentially just add a giant glass floor, and as you're walking, you're literally walking over the foundations of a medieval castle.
Yeah, yeah. And one of the things too is this castle is about 600 years old, which puts it in the 1400s. So it's a castle
Ooh,
from a time at which France was in the midst of civil wars.
100 years war, 100 years war,
The
hundred
friendship
years war.
wars, they go like a fine wine and a good cheese.
Yeah, so this is some Black Prince bullshit going on right now.
Black Prince Henry the Second, or not Henry the Fifth, and the Fourth, and the Sixth.
Quit counting all the Henrys.
Charles the Seventh,
Yeah, the
Charles the Sixth.
yeah,
Great
the
times.
the castle itself was built by the Duke of Brittany, Jean the Fourth, in about 1380, and it was built to assert his power because at this time, fun fact, Brittany is its own country and continues to be so for some time.
Hail Britannia.
No, no, wrong. Not
Wrong Brittany.
Britain.
Wrong,
Brittany.
wrong Brittany. This is
Home of the
these
Bretons.
are the French people that live in France that are English enough that the French don't want them.
I wonder
Well,
why they're
they don't
partially
want to be
English.
part of France either.
Yeah,
Almost sounds like the
But
Basque.
the Bretons are more Brythonic, aren't they, than English?
the Britons are Norman. Let's be real. There
Touche.
is a lot there. This is what happens when you go back in time in like France or England or anywhere else in Europe. Uh, the concept of ethnicity becomes very strange.
Because they're just basically like cousins fighting throughout all of it.
Yeah, that is a big part of this. The 100 Years' War, which is what a part of the instability that sparked the construction of this castle, was more or less the King of England owed lands in France, and the King of France said, "You own lands in France, you must therefore bow to the King of France." And the King of England said, "No."
It is also important to like point out the pyramid structure that we're taught in schools. Wrong, completely wrong. It is the worst thing in the world because your power, just because you're king, you ruled by divine right alone, does not mean you had the power to like summon like armies of like tens of thousands.
Yeah.
Your power base was based off your land specifically. So there could be a duke or a count that could have more, that could be much more powerful and military wise than the actual king.
Yeah.
So when the Duke of Normandy sailed across the channel,
Yep.
took over England, was a huge power play.
You know, that was one of the first times my familial lineage lost power.
Mm-hmm.
Those fuckers.
Yep. That's
God
fun.
damn it.
Yep.
Can you not be English for 5 seconds?
So,
I could be
so
Scottish too.
back to the French castle. One of the fun things about this particular excavation uh, is that in addition to the moat being intact, another key piece of infrastructure was kept intact as well, which is the pipes. The original piping for a lot of water and runoff, and just for the latrines themselves for the original toilets out there. All of that was still intact. And so by digging through, and apparently it was intact and in use for centuries after the castle ceased to exist.
Wow.
Which means that when the archaeologists went to dig through the latrines, they found everything. You would be surprised what people drop down the toilet. It's not just your toddler doing this. It's not just your toddler.
Yeah,
it's everyone.
before they had proper garbage disposal, people just kind of did whatever.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I'm almost convinced I dug through one of those. But this was
I've
2,000 years old.
I've dug through a privy before. It's
The dirt,
the
sure
night
as
soil
hell
is what
matched
they
it.
refer to it as. There's some cool things. The weirdest thing I ever found was a cattle skull.
I found some very large pieces of like broken pottery, but like not for like a small vase. We're talking like amphora sized. Another thing that I found were small fish bones, which you would find
Yesterday's
given
dinner.
there's yeah.
Yep.
So, but the interesting thing is,
bioarchaeologists are gonna have a field day.
This castle is so intact. Most of the foundations, some of the staircases, to the point suggest that the castle was potentially 3 to 4 stories tall.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good sized castle.
And it's remarkably well preserved. I mean, there's images that show staircases going down into the ground, which is just incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, this feels like a site that, especially since there's going to be a fine art museum on top of it, that you almost want to do some of the things I saw in Greece and Italy, where you just glass floor everything and build above and around it so that on the first floor, people can walk in and look down and see the very beautiful, almost perfectly preserved medieval castle.
Oh, absolutely. They should absolutely do that.
Like 100%, like that'd be the perfect thing. You're a fine art museum, and as the bedrock of all culture, there is of course history, and if you look down you can see some of that.
Also,
And it's an art museum. They could show off the architecture.
they should
Now I'm
also
gonna hang a
excavate
Rembrandt.
it and put all of the artifacts on display. Like, I would also say have an interactive art exhibit. Like, if the foundations are there, dig down, make it a basement exhibit where you get to walk around the foundations and the walls of the old castle.
Yeah, do like what Bath, England did with the Roman baths, where you can walk down through it.
Oh yeah, that'd be a great idea.
Look that up, people. It's a tourist attraction. This is a prime example of one of the things we are talking about doing to this site here.
If it's safe, obviously.
We have no say in this. We just want more museums and more history in the world.
We're
just like that.
At our core.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's as good a place as any to say goodbye, don't you?
I'd say so. It's great. I enjoyed this.
See you next time.